Season games are out of the way. The roster is set. Now it's time to defend our AFC West championship. Coming up in the next half hour, we'll set the table for the Seahawks 2000 season. We've thrown one of your new heroes, Lamar King, into the spotlight. We'll visit with head coach Mike Holmgren. You want to talk about a team full of new faces, you should check out the Dolphins. And we will. Seahawks Saturday. Straight ahead.
1, 2, 3, win.
Welcome to Seahawks Saturday, the official NFL team show of the Seattle Seahawks. Now, your host of Seahawks Saturday, the voice of the Hawks, Brian Davis.
So much ground to cover and so little time, but then again, we've got all season to deliver your Seahawks the way that you like them, up close and personal. Welcome to our season opener. I'm Brian Davis. Mike Holmgren is our headliner this week, but we have so much more for you, including a look at one of the stars of this year's training camp. You'll want to stick around, too, for a preview of tomorrow's, dare we say it, grudge match against the Miami Dolphins. We'll take you down Tradition Alley, and on top of that, we'll give you a progress report on our new home. It's all straight ahead on Seahawks Saturday.
Seahawks Saturday, the 25th anniversary season, is proudly sponsored by Volvo. Stop by your local Northwest Volvo retailer today and check out the Sell Down 2000 event, now in progress. By Web TV, providing easy internet access while enhancing the television viewing experience. And the Home Depot. No matter what home project you plan on tackling, you'll find everything you need, including expert advice at the Home Depot. Tune in, log on, and win. On game day, tune in to the Seahawks Radio Network and listen for the call of the game. Then log on to Seahawks.com. Identify the call of the game and win Seahawks tickets, plus a Seahawks Cutter and Buck golf shirt. That's tune in, log on, and win.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
The Home Depot can
skills. Hi, I'm Matt Labani with the Seattle Seahawks, inviting you to participate in Ready, Set, Goals, a program designed to enhance reading, writing, and goal-setting skills. Each month, 3rd and 4th graders in Washington State read stories written by Seahawk players about challenges and goal setting. Students then write their own goal-setting stories. 3 classes each month are selected to participate in a video conference with a Seahawk player. For more information, log on or visit any Interwest bank.
Fans, when the Hawks score during the 2-minute drill, one lucky fan will win 2 round-trip tickets to anywhere Alaska Airlines flies. To enter, send a postcard to the Alaska Airlines 2-minute drill contest. Post Office Box 4910, Seattle 98104. Alaska Airlines. For the same price, you just get more.
He's gonna go all the way! 10, 5, touchdown Seahawks!
Now, for more Seahawks Saturday, the voice of the Hawks, Brian Davis.
Welcome back. There was all kinds of talk going into training camp about the changes on the Seahawks defensive line. Well, that all seems to be working itself out pretty well, which brings us to In the Spotlight, brought to you by GTE Wireless. This week, we shine the spotlight on defensive tackle Lamar King. He's the only player ever drafted out of the NCAA's Division II in the first round. King is out to prove that wasn't a reach. He reported for his second season wearing less fat and more muscle. He shed about 10 pounds during preseason so he could get off the ball and into the opposing backfield more quickly. A half dozen tackles in limited playing time, plus a recovered fumble and a pass batted down at the line, suggest he had the right idea.
Is that right?
Lamar King in the spotlight.
Lamar King.
Defensive line was one of several spots on the Seahawks roster where there were questions, and Mike Holmgren answered several others with his final roster cuts this week. Earlier this week, Mike and I got a chance to go one-on-one, sponsored by Staples. Well, Mike, it's showtime. Your roster is set. I'm curious about your feelings about this team, maybe compared to the group that you had a year ago.
You know, in some ways, this season is a little more uncertain because we have a lot of new faces and a lot of young people are going to have to play. But I know the team better than I knew the team last year. I thought last year we were a little more experienced. We won some games early and helped us get off to a good start with our experience. And so this year we're going to have to go like crazy. Now, it's going to be a real challenge for us, and we can't get hurt too much. That's the big difference. We don't have a lot of depth this year.
Can you read into anything, into how the team is, how ready the team is, based on the practices that you've had since the Oakland game?
Well, we've had very, very good practices. I was disappointed, as you know, in the Oakland game. After that game, I wasn't sure we could play anybody. But it's a preseason game, and then when I calmed down, I realized that we had some good information on our young people. We were going to make good decisions on who we kept on the football team. So there were actually some positives that came out of that game. And now we've had good practices, so we just now have to tee it up for real.
What about the chemistry amongst players and coaches, given, for instance, that you have 2 new coordinators?
I think the chemistry is excellent. That was one of the things I know we had to improve off of last year's team. Even though it was good last year, it wasn't where I wanted it to be. And both the new coordinators, Gil Haskell and Steve Sidwell, are personalities. The guys like them, they communicate well, and they'll play hard for them. And so as far as our coaches are concerned, the chemistry is very, very good with the players.
But don't go away. More Seahawks Saturday coming right up.
The Seahawks Community Calendar is presented by Interwest Bank, leaders in community involvement and a partner in Ready, Set, Goals, a literacy program for children.
You know that Seahawks Saturday is the one place you can turn to find out where you can go and meet and greet your favorite Seahawks players and coaches. Here's this week's lineup. Our calendar begins with the Seahawks alumni this Thursday, September 7th at the Kids Classic Golf Tournament at Echo Falls. Alumni Sam Adkins, Jacob Green, Paul Moyer, and Steve Rabel are scheduled to take part in a special event for a great cause. It's a 1 p.m. shotgun start. On Saturday, September 9th, catch Blitz, the Seahawkers fan club, and a home opener party at Planet Hollywood. That's 1 week from today, September 9th, 5 to 9 p.m. at Planet Hollywood. And finally, the next day, Sunday, September 10th, it's the home opener in Husky Stadium against the world champion St. Louis Rams. Call 1-888-NFL-HAWK to get your seats to the 25th anniversary season's home opener versus the Rams.
The new football soccer stadium update is brought to you by Turner Construction, the nation's #1 builder.
With the implosion of the Kingdome, a new era began for Seahawks football. The goal of the new stadium design was simple: build the most comfortable, most technologically advanced stadium in the National Football League.
Some of the fun things about the vision, if you really look at what the stadium looks like, you'll notice that there's quite a bit of similarity to Husky Stadium. It has the 2 large roofs along each side. It has the kind of one end zone more open than the other end zone for a view. The view is of the city instead of Lake Washington. We actually have completed 2 of the 2 main roof support towers at the south end of the field. We're just about completing the one at the north end of the field. We've actually started structural steel. We've poured part of the main concourse at the south end. Now all the plumbing and that kind of stuff is going in underground for the Seahawk locker room, so we're moving right along. You can see the towers at both ends. You can actually see the stair tower and the ramp tower at the south end that's actually starting to look like the stadium. But as this year goes along, the east side will get more filled out as far as the concrete and the structure of the concrete, and that the first roof truss, the main roof truss, will actually start. It's actually already started, but it will probably be close to complete by the end of this year, and that will be a major visual for people in town.
While they can literally watch the new building take shape day by day, Seahawks fans are enjoying outdoor football at Husky Stadium. But the ultimate game day experience comes in 2 years when Seahawks football opens in the new Washington State Football and Soccer Stadium.
I think that we're actually building a fantastic stadium for the Seahawks, and I expect that there's going to be a fantastic team that in 2 years is going to start playing there and going to bring the World Championship to Seattle. That's what we're all here for.
Time now for the Seagal of the Week, presented by KISW Radio. Today's featured Seagal is Shannon. In her 11th year as a Seagal, Shannon was recognized as Co-Seagal of the Year in 1999. That's her 2nd time for Seagal of the Year honors. A 98 Pro Bowl cheerleader and current squad leader. That's Shannon, your KISW Seagal of the Week. Stay tuned for a look at tomorrow's opponent, plus the challenge of the week, and more of Seahawks Saturday with Brian Davis. Brian Davis.
Now let's find out what's on tap tomorrow against the Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins ended the Seahawks season last January, but they are not the same team we'll see tomorrow at Pro Players Stadium. There have been major changes. Gone after 4 years is fiery coach Jimmy Johnson. In his place is Dave Wanstead. He had a promising start in Chicago, but the Bears slipped to 4-12 in each of his last 2 seasons there. For the first time since 1984, Hall of Fame-bound Dan Marino will not be the man at quarterback. Former University of Washington star Damon Huard was 4-1 when Marino got hurt last year, but could not get the Dolphins into the end zone in the preseason. Jay Fiedler returned from hip surgery and won the starting job last week. Former Seahawk and New Orleans Saint Lamar Smith established himself as the #1 running back late in training camp. But the Dolphins have had their share of trouble at receiver. O.J. McDuffie is recovering from foot surgery. Lamar Thomas shattered his hip against Green Bay and is lost for the season. A fast, athletic defense should give Miami a chance from week to week. Linebacker Zach Thomas, who has averaged more than 160 tackles in his first 4 pro seasons, anchors a unit that ranked 5th in the league in yards allowed last year. Miami also boasted the league's best defense in the red zone and on 3rd down. First-round draft picks Tim Bowens and Darrell Gardner have matured into run-stuffers. They'll challenge a Seahawks rushing attack that's trying to improve on last year's average of 88 yards a game. An untested offense, but a nasty defense. You bet that's on Mike Holmgren's mind. And that brings us to our Challenge of the Week, brought to you by the Home Depot.
Mike, you open up against the Dolphins at Miami. This is a team, obviously, that ended your season last year. I wonder if there is any payback involved in this.
Well, there's I don't think in terms of payback. I know we'd like to win the football game. We wanted to win that playoff game and lost a tough one. But when I look at Miami on film, I see defensively pretty much the same group. I mean, they have an outstanding defense. And we have our work cut out for us, and then now they settle on a quarterback. And I know how Dave likes to play it, and he likes to be very physical. And so we have our hands full. It's a long trip, but it's exciting to start the season. We're ready.
Does it help you coaching against Dave Wanstead, whom you've faced so many times when you guys were in the NFC Central?
Well, I'm not sure. More importantly, I think I look at the coordinators and what schemes they're running. Defensively, they haven't changed a lot of things from the defense that Dave likes to run, and they've always been good at it. It's a tough defense to play against. Offensively, I think he kind of lets the offensive guys do their thing. And so, I have tremendous respect for Chan and the job he does as well. So there's no question about it. It's a tough opener. We're traveling across the country. It's going to be a little warm, probably. But, again, we're very excited about it.
In Fiedler, they have a quarterback who is coming off of surgery who has had 1 game to get ready. So I wonder whether you get after him a little bit defensively.
Well, I think you do that. You'd like to do that with any quarterback. Certainly a young quarterback, and certainly a quarterback that hasn't had a lot of playing time recently. I think all that helps if you can pressure those types of guys. But Jay's a good football player, obviously, to win the starting job there, because Damon Huard is a good football player. He has to do some things very well. And the coaches, they have good coaches, so they know what they're doing. And so we know we can't think like that. We have to go in, and it's a quarterback, and we're playing the Miami Dolphins, and we just have to do what we do against them, what we do every week.
How much of this is not about Miami, but maybe about Seattle, and, for instance, getting your offense to operate efficiently?
Well, that's always the way it is with us. We'll look at film, and we'll prepare for a defense or an offense and the things you do as coaches. But almost as important, maybe more important, is the fact of how are we executing? How are we playing? Let them react to us. If we're doing the things we're supposed to do, then usually good things happen at the end. And quite frankly, we've been a little inconsistent, particularly on offense in this preseason.
You want to talk about tradition? This is the Seahawks Ring of Honor, which each week on Seahawks Saturday will serve as our backdrop as we answer the question, where are they now? He was the classic underdog, an undrafted free agent from Arizona State. But Paul Moyer caught the eye of Seahawks head coach Chuck Knox and parlayed that into a 7-year pro career. Even as the backup to perennial Pro Bowler Kenny Easley, Moyer made 30 starts. He could hit, and he could play special teams. Moyer shares the club record for longest return of a blocked field goal. After he retired, Paul coached the Seahawks defensive backs. He gave lessons and learned a few, too. Joined now by number 21 himself, Paul Moyer. You make the transition directly from player to assistant coach. That cannot have been easy.
Well, BD, I've lived a blessed life. You know, get to be a player and move right into the coaching ranks. So it was a dream, and I had a great opportunity from Chuck Knox. I don't know, something I always wanted to do, and it wasn't that hard of a transition. It was in my blood from the get-go.
Still, you're playing with these guys 1 year. The next season, you're bringing the hammer. Guys are looking at you going, what's up with this?
That was the most difficult transition because, you know, guys that were my friends, now I'm their authoritative figure, and they've got to listen to me. They used to listen to me as a player, but now they really had to listen to me. But again, I've been blessed. I had guys like Eugene Robinson, Nesby Glasgow. I mean, these guys were born leaders and made the transition really pretty simple.
All right, let's talk about degrees of difficulty and put it on the scale. Player to coach, managing all that big money as you do for Conseco, doing the media thing, or building your own house, as I know you're doing right now.
Oh, well, you made me start sweating already. Easily, it's building a house. And part of it is that my wife's my partner, and I've got to listen to her. And so that's the difficult transition. But, you know, managing money, working with people like Merrill Lynch brokers and Payne Weber brokers, good people, and I get to do the radio at nighttime, do a sports talk show, and then also do the Seahawk post-game and pre-game shows. It's been a lot of fun for us.
Paul, it's great to see you. Thanks for stopping by.
Pleasure.
Now it's time for the Seahawks Trivia Question of the Week, brought to you by Web TV. NFL Hall of Famer Steve Largent owns every Seahawk career pass receiving record and most of the single-season records, but not all of them. Who is the only Seahawk receiver to break one of Largent's prized milestones? The answer after this.
100. And that long pursuit of Don Hubson's career touchdown reception in the NFL is over. And
so how's Dad?
9 with not only team but NFL records in pass receptions, touchdowns, and receiving yards. Brian Blades surpassed that total twice with 80 receptions in 1993 and 81 in 1984. In Blades' 11-year career, he is second only to Largent in every other team category. That's your Seahawks Trivia Question of the Week, brought to you by Web TV.
Seahawks Saturday, the 25th anniversary season, is proudly sponsored by Volvo. Stop by your local Northwest Volvo retailer today and check out the Sell Down 2000 event, now in progress. By Web TV, providing easy internet access while enhancing the television viewing experience. And the Home Depot. No matter what home project you plan on tackling, you'll find everything you need, including expert advice at the Home Depot.
And that's a wrap on our kickoff edition of Seahawks Saturday. Now all that's left is to go out and play the game. A Seahawks victory tomorrow would snap an 8-year string of Miami victories on opening day. We'll see you right here next week on Seahawks Saturday.
Catch Brian Davis.
Agent.